Welcome to Nightlight. Step away from the mainstream and gather around as we enlighten the world and our realities and travel this cosmic journey we call life. Join us as we share with you and provide that beacon that can guide us all to a better way. Explore with us as we examine a metaphysical montage of spiritual insights covering everything from the mundane to the magical, UFOs to unicorns, and everything in between. This is a time of awakening, of sharing and evolving, of spreading our wings and soaring on the cosmic breath of creation. Come and join with other like-minded spirits as we weave our lights together to seek understanding, enlightenment, and with a little luck, some wisdom. This is Nightlight, a reminder that you are never alone.
Welcome, everybody. So glad you could join me and Greg. And apologies for last week being a little bit slow at the start here, but we're catching up tonight. I want to remind you, if you want a reading, put your question in capital letters so that Greg can catch it more easily. He catches most people, but if you speak in capitals, you get his attention a lot faster. So, Greg, who's first?
Okay. Hello, and here we are. We have a whole bunch of people in the queue. First up is Pat Haley, and Pat says, "Hello, Barbara. First time here. I would love a reading from you."
I would love to give you one. I like the heart. Okay, Pat, it does appear that you're at a place in time here where you are, I want to almost say you're nesting, you're pulling a lot of stuff close to home, you're making yourself more comfortable within your reality, and you're getting yourself almost ready. It's funny, it feels like you're getting ready for a long winter, but I don't think it's going to be a long winter. So you're putting things in order, you're I won't say you're neatening things, but you're putting things in order, and there's a big difference there. It does feel here as though this is a time when you're sort of looking at yourself, making adjustments, almost kind of reminding yourself of areas you wanted to work on that you haven't quite begun to work on. And it feels as though you're getting yourself lined up to make some pretty major changes in your life. This is going to be the next 12 months from August to August. It's going to be a time of major changes for you, all in a good way, letting go of things that don't work, reaching for new challenges within your reality. There's a sense here of adding wisdom and justice and creativity to a couple of areas of your life, which is really quite profound. As you get into the October timeframe, you have guidance here from the other side, and it does feel that you're very aware when Spirit speaks to you, and it feels as though you pay attention, which is really a profound gift. I would suggest you write down the messages you get, because they are going to, in many ways, enable you to have a far more profitable year that is coming up here. By the time you get to November, there's a sense here of what you send out greatly returns to you greatly magnified. So if you're going to do a mailing, or if you're going to put things out to see if there's interest in an aspect of some project of yours, you're going to find that the response is going to be great. So October's a time to kind of put feelers out there and see where. It's kind of like you raise the flag, see who salutes, and throw your line in the water and see who catches the hook first. Strange analogies. So as you get into the December timeframe, there's a sense here of kind of setting things up, putting things in place. You're getting your ducks in order so that as the year opens up, that you can jump right into new challenges, new new projects, new directions. As you hit the January timeframe, you go through an initiation process, and it feels as though you're dropping a lot off of you. You're letting go of preconceived notions on certain things, and you're allowing yourself to celebrate the joy of experiencing new directions that you're going to be moving in. February has the element of being far more compassionate about yourself. You're really great with other people, but you sometimes don't cut yourself any slack. And as you get into February, it's time to recognize that you have gone above and beyond the call of duty in many places, and you sort of pull yourself back just a little bit. As you hit the March timeframe, here in March, you have magic and miracles. It means you can expect the unexpected. You have a lot of amazing, wonderful, light infused circumstances coming into your reality. It's almost as though you're feeling you're getting rewarded, and in some cases you're not quite sure what, but you're accepting things with grace and kindness and love. The one thing I have to say here is sometimes you kind of say, no, that's okay, don't worry about it. But and that's good if you want to do that. But if a person comes back and insists, say okay, and learn how to accept kindness and courtesy with the same grace that you give it. Because sometimes people who are as giving as you are don't know how to receive. And it does feel to me as though as you get into especially the March timeframe, there are going to be times when you have to learn how to be gracious about receiving, as gracious as you are when you're giving. As you get into the April timeframe, there's a sense here of your creativity, finding new channels to flow through. And it does feel as though being creative and unique as you approach difficulties is going to make it a lot easier for you. The more creative you are in doing things differently and more uniquely, the more you're going to draw attention to you and your talents and your gifts. Intuition sharpens and flows and flowers. I want to say it flowers in May, and it does feel as though you're listening to yourself. You're listening to the impressions you get from other people, and you're acting accordingly, quietly accordingly. And as you get into June, there's a sense here of you're moving into new areas of enlightenment, new areas of understanding the light quality within you and the wisdom that you've gathered throughout time. And as you hit the July timeframe, there's a commitment to doing something unique and individual and very creative with the wisdoms that you're gathering. You're not just learning these wisdoms, you're applying them to your life, and you're living the wisdoms. You're becoming a living example of the wisdoms that you've gathered, which is a very profound thing and very exciting, I might add. Hope that helps you. It's a year fast.
Oh, that's a beautiful reading. I'm very grateful, she said.
You're very welcome.
There you go. All right. Who's up next? Next, we have Demi Marie. And Demi says, hello, Barbara. I wanted to know what you see for my career in the next year.
Okay. Shuffle. Well, I spread the cards. I use, let me put in a plug for myself. I use the Cosmic Deck of Initiation. They are hexagon shaped. I use the old round cards because they've been with me for a long time. But the new cards, same cards, but in a different shape, are on the market now. You weren't able to get a deck at all for a while, and they're again available. And there's a handbook that goes with them, which is very profound. And there's an app for your phone. I have to remember to keep mentioning that to people. Okay, Demi, let's see. Well, first of all, there's a tremendous amount of healing energy around you. You are a healer. You've been a healer in lifetimes past, and you have a quality to your voice that is very profound. Doesn't mean you have to sing, but you may sing. But there's a quality to your voice that resonates to people, so that you are a person who can be very influential. you can influence people greatly with your voice. You have deep, profound spiritual energy within you that probably it does overwhelm some people sometimes, but you hold true to your own inner pathway, and you aren't swayed easily by other people, which is a great gift. I feel strongly that you have, especially this month, been working very hard to go in new directions, to go in to hit different aspects of the career that you're now in. I feel that there is the possibility of a career change or shift, but it doesn't feel as though it's profound. It just feels that you're moving into a new level of expressing yourself in new ways. As you hit September, there's abundance coming your way. It feels as though there's a tremendous amount of abundance around you in many different ways. I'm not feeling it being the death of someone. I'm feeling you actually earning the money, and it does feel as though there is more money coming into you. It doesn't feel as though, it feels as though it's a lump sum. Nobody's dying, but it's a lump sum of money, and I do feel that there will be an increase in your ability to earn on a monetary level as well. As you hit the October timeframe, I'm seeing creativity and healing energy flowing together beautifully. I feel that you are a healer in so many aspects. I imagine people probably dump their problems in your lap and hope you'll fix them. You're sensitive, and you're kind, and you're generous, and there's an element of creatively helping people to find the healing aspects within themselves. So you don't actually do it for them because you can't, but you do help them to understand that they're in charge of their own lives. As you get into the November timeframe, I feel here that there's a sense of legality. There's a sense of signing papers and contracts and stuff like that. I don't think you're being sued by any means, but I do feel that there's a sense of legality, of justice and balance in your life that is going to become highlighted as you get into the month of November. It's really a phenomenal. It's a phenomenal quality. The element of justice is very, very rich within you. So that I'm not suggesting you become a lawyer, but you do have that ability to point out justice where it needs, and you help to apply it in many cases. As you get into the December timeframe, money coming into you again above and beyond what you anticipate. This could have to do with your profession, and it does feel like there's I see a lot of stairs, as though there are more steps that you're going up, and I feel greater reward because of the steps that you're on. As you get into the January timeframe, we've got here, it's almost you play I doubt it with yourself, and I'm going to give you time frame here. It feels as though January 1st to January 10th is a time where you kind of are questioning a lot of the steps you've taken and directions you're going. And so I would suggest that the first 10 days of the month of January, don't make any decisions because you're going to play I doubt it with yourself. That's inappropriate, but you're going to do it anyhow. From the 10th on, you're fine. Make all your choices. It's fine. But for the first 10 days, there's a little bit of hesitancy. So just try not to make any major decisions in the first 10 days. If your back's to the wall, then you do what you have to do. But I would rather you didn't make any major decisions in the first 10 days. As you get into February, there's unity of focus here. You're pulling things together. I feel that the element of relationship is profound here. And again, you are so strong. You are so independent. You are so well focused for career, which is fabulous. And in relationship, hopefully the person that you're with is going to be as focused in their direction too, because if either of you gives up your direction, things will fall apart. You have to make sure you follow your dreams, no matter how great they are or how strange. Strange dreams are the best, by the way. As you come into March, there's a sense here of of new beginnings and fresh starts. I feel strongly that there may be an inclination to make a move of some sort in the March timeframe. You may be looking around, you may be testing the waters in certain places, and it does feel as though that there is the possibility of a move, especially in the March timeframe. It could have something to do with the legalities I'm seeing in November. It could have. It doesn't necessarily have to, but it could have. As you hit April, April's a time where I feel there's a karmic balance that things are happening in your life that you're wondering where they come from, and quite often we're living a karmic balance of some sort with some of the people in our lives. So do understand sometimes that what comes towards you has to do with perhaps a past lifetime, but deal with them with grace and balance, and you'll be just fine. You're evolving into new directions as you get into the May timeframe. There's a sense here of almost as those shadows dissipate, light comes to areas that you have had doubts about. There's an enlightening experience, so that you're beginning to see directions that are new for you, that are very beneficial to you. You're evolving into an understanding of the purpose of a lot of the things that have happened in your life. And let me stop here for just a second, because things happen for a positive purpose always. Sometimes we think, bad things are happening, but actually they're either a balance of karma, or they are to set you in a different direction. Sometimes, personally, I have found that my head is so hard, I have to get a 2x4 slammed in my head, and not literally, but physically, but emotionally. And what I'm seeing here is you're evolving above and beyond needing to have things happen to you in a strange way, because you're picking up on where the lessons are and applying them appropriately. As you get into the June timeframe, you're attracting new people to yourself. There are new people coming in here. Several very, very interesting people. Some may be teachers, some may be friends from past lives, some may be friends from the past that are coming back into your life. You're attracting to yourself a lot of newness, which is really very exciting for you. And as you hit the July timeframe, you're working on getting a better balance in your life. I do feel you're looking for balance, and you appear to be weeding your garden in many new and different ways. It's a very exciting time for you, and the healing energy is very profound. Understand that the healing process doesn't have to be painful. It can just be enlightening, even though often here and there are growing pains. They don't have to linger very long. They just remind you that you've grown above or beyond something. Okay? Okay.
All right. Great. All right. So next up we have, let's see, Great Delmoti. She said, "Greetings. I'm looking forward to your show, Barbara. It's been a while for me. I used to hear you doing readings on Curious Times." Then she went on to say, or he, I'm not sure, "I would appreciate a let her rip reading."
That's what we used to call the readings that I'm doing now.
And then she said, "Do you need my name?" So
no, I don't need your name. I mean, your energy comes in what you've chosen to represent yourself as. So what we've got here is it's really kind of cool. You've been reinventing yourself for quite a while. It does feel as though this whole year is going to be a continuation of reinventing yourself, of growing beyond the limitations that you set for yourself 5 years ago. It feels as though this year, this 12-month time, is going to be a time where, as you stretch, as you grow, there may be growing pains of some sort here, but it does feel as though there's a new you that is emerging, that is finally beginning to be the outward manifestation of the inward growth that has been going on for the last 5, 10, 15 years. There is a time here. It's it's really quite fascinating. It feels as though you're finally beginning to live some of the material that you've been gathering over time. And it really looks like it's a profound, profound time for you. There's the element here of testing new aspects of yourself, of kind of, you're not jumping into any pool of great depth, and you're not jumping off the deep end. You're going in a toe at a time, but you're beginning to express a lot of the lessons that you've learned. You're beginning to be a living manifestation of those wisdoms. And as you do this, it changes your whole reality, and it changes your perspective of life. I've always said we create our reality by our perspective of it. You're going to find that life becomes so much more joyful, so much more rich, so much more exciting for you as you begin to be the new you that is beginning to emerge out of this chrysalis. Oh, you're a butterfly. That's what it is. It's a butterfly emerging from a chrysalis. Cool visualization. As you move into October, there is a sense here of letting go of things that you've been holding on to for a long time. They've been weighting you down, whether it's anger, whether it's whatever it is, just letting go of things that you've been carrying internally. There's no way to have prevented them from happening, so you can prevent them from happening in the future. So it's kind of like you're letting go of grudges that you've had. Long time ago, my sister and I did a ceremony where we were running out of things we were forgetting each other for. And when she finally said that she forgave me for cutting her pigtail off when she was 4 years old, I said, we're done. We're done. If that's all you've got, we're done. And what I'm seeing here is, you're doing the same thing. You're forgiving and letting go. And by letting go, you lighten yourself up, you brighten the light that's inside of you, and you brighten the light that you share with other people as well. As you move into October, there's a sense here of freedom, of moving into new vistas. It feels as though, it feels really as though you're presenting a new you to reality, and reality is not only accepting it, but giving you back new directions that you can go in. There's healing energy here. There's creative energy here. There's spiritual energy here that is moving into you in new and different ways. I don't want you to quit your day job, but the element of being a spiritual advisor of some sort down the road someplace, if you aren't already, is here profoundly. You know how to present energy and information to someone without telling them what to do, giving them the tool, allowing them to be the one that either picks it up and uses it or not. There's a profound depth of spiritual wisdom here, and I feel that you've really worked very hard at balancing it within yourself, and I do feel that you're going to be sharing it with others in a very profound way as time moves on. As you get into the January timeframe, there certainly is the intuitive element that is becoming richer and richer within you, your ability to see and feel where other people are coming from, and the ability to, if asked, underline that, if asked, give appropriate information to people. Again, not telling them what or how to do anything, but to give them philosophy to work with. As you hit the January timeframe, you're sending information out. This is an interesting place for you. You're sending material and information out to see what kind of response you're going to get, and the response is going to be profound, because as you get into the month of February, you've got a threshold crossed. This is understanding of this in other dimensions. This is working with more of a cosmic philosophy than a spiritual one. Same thing, deeper meaning. It feels as though you've let go of a lot of things that really had weighted you down. And by the way, I'm not saying you're losing weight. I'm saying you're letting go of things that weighted you down on a spiritual level. If I could only do that for people, that would be so cool. I see you losing 5 pounds. No, I don't. But this element of crossing a threshold into new aspects of self is profound. And what you're going to find is that wonderful enlightening material is coming your way at strange and wonderful times in very unique and different situations. So do be journaling, please be writing it down, because you've got some great stuff coming. As you hit the March timeframe, new foundations, your whole life is changing. It's really exciting. Your whole life is changing. There's a new foundation that you're working from. And as you get into the April timeframe, there's laughter, joy, celebration, new light that you're working with, understanding new directions, understanding new philosophies. I feel strongly that there are a lot of new people coming in here, and it does feel as though you're noticing the difference in yourself. You're feeling the difference. You're living the difference, and because of that, joy and laughter is just so obvious. You know, it's so much a part of your life and reality here that people are drawn to you because you can find laughter and joy in almost anything, and it brings peace and healing to people. It brings a sense of comfort and joy because it's genuine, pure, spiritual laughter. It's an out loud laughter, but it's a healing laughter. Could even every now and then something very strange will come up in a reading, and it won't have anything to do with anything I've said, but it's there. So I'm putting it out here. I see you as a stand-up comedian with a spiritual bent. You don't have to do it, but that's what I see here. And it won't let me go forward until I say it. So could possibly be something like that could change your career and direction. Really cool stuff. As you hit May is where you're taking care of yourself. You're so caring and giving to other people, you do forget to take care of yourself. There has to be a balance there. Without a balance, everything goes wonko. So there's a new balance here. You're taking care of yourself. It's almost like you're taking a vacation here. There is travel. It's in an airplane, but it stays local. I don't see it international. But there's travel here. There's taking care of you. There's doing some of the things you promised yourself you're going to do, and you start ticking some of those things off and putting more things on, I might add. So your bucket list continues to get long, even though you're doing some of the things already that you promised yourself you would do. As you hit June, there's a sense here of work. Work seems to be the focus for June and July. It feels as though you're working in new directions. You're creating a new pathway for yourself. You're no longer following other people's pathways. You're creating your own. And in doing so, you're drawing a tremendous amount of attention to yourself, with new people being drawn to you because of the innovative directions you're taking. Hope that helps. Okay.
Okay.
Stand-up comic. That's kind of cool.
That is cool.
I don't think there's one out there that's just spiritual. A great way to teach, by the way. Well, it would be.
Okay, we got lots of people in the queue. Let's see. Next up is Bryn Dorham.
Okay.
Hi, Barbara. I would love a general reading, please. Thank you.
Okay, Bryn. Oh, you were one of those that was here when we didn't make it last time. I think, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's great. I think so. I think you're right. Glad they made it back.
Well, he's been around a long time. Not that he's old, just that I remember the name. That's all. Okay, Bryn.
Little feedback from Great Delmont. He said, "Thank you so much." Wanted to put that out there.
Okay, Brent. Next 12 months, a time of great abundance here. It feels as though a lot of things you've been working on are coming into play here. And I might add, there's only 2 guardian angel cards in the deck and 1 miracle card, and all 3 of those are here. So it would say that this next 12 months time frame is going to be a very exciting time for you. It does feel as though I don't often suggest that people play the lottery, but one card, one scratch off or whatever, here and there wouldn't hurt with the kind of spiritual energy you've got here. It does feel as though this is a time where you're at a point where you've kind of got yourself to the point where you're very secure within yourself to a certain degree. And it feels as though it's time for you to begin to manifest some of the talents and the gifts that are within you. I feel strongly that you've been working internally a great deal. And it feels to me as though it's time for a coming out party, kind of. I do feel that August is a time where you really feel as though you've tied up your loose ends, maybe not all of them, but most of them. And it does feel as though there's a fresh flow of energy through you that is just absolutely profound. It's kind of like you have arrived at a certain point. Not that you don't have lots of directions to go in yet, but it's you've arrived at a plateau, and it's time to sort of take a look around and see what new directions you want to go in, what new areas you want to explore, what new talents and gifts you want to enhance. There's an element here of being gifted with words, with being able to profoundly share wisdom and love and support and healing. There's a talent here with writing. There's a talent here with music. And I'm not sure if it's making music or listening to music or what, but music has some influence and impact here. As you hit the September timeframe, here's where I feel you will be very open, cosmically speaking, to getting messages from the universe or messages from the spirit that you carry within. So journaling would be a good idea. Every now and then you're going to find yourself getting a phrase of some sort that just is so profound you can't believe it, and you think you'll remember it, but you won't. So write these down, because you're going to have this kind of guidance coming to you at strange and unique times. There have been times I had to pull the car over and write something down because I knew if I waited till I arrived to where I was going, I would forget it. September is going to be a time where your words are important. So whatever you get that impresses you, or that is pretty, or is worthy of a spiritual tag, I would definitely start writing it down, because spirit is definitely going to be coming through to you. And what's interesting is you're going to do this, and as you get into the October timeframe, you're going to play I doubt it with yourself. You're going to think, oh, this is silly. I shouldn't do this. This doesn't make any sense. Yes, it does. And so the real lesson here is between October and November. Yeah. No, between September and November, you have the 2 guardian angel cards. That's when magic is going to happen in your life. In between them, you have the card that says, I don't know, this can't be as great as I think it is. Yes, it can. Yes, it can. And so, don't listen to yourself. As you come into the October timeframe, take a look at what you've written and give yourself credit for, or what you have preserved, or what you have saved. If you want to talk it into a tape recorder and save it that way, that's fine too. It's just it needs time to gestate. The magic and the wisdom that you're gathering needs time to sort of settle into and become a part of everything inside of you. And so give it a chance. And as you get into the December timeframe, you've got the element here of creating a new you. You're pulling things from all sorts of different directions that you've tried in the past, and you're pulling them together and creating a new whole of you. so that there's a new you that's coming out here. And as you hit the January timeframe, here's where magic and miracles are. Here's where all your work begins to manifest. Here's where a lot of things that you have worked on begin to take form, begin to materialize, begin to show up. And here's where your hopes, wishes, and dreams are coming true. I mean, to a certain realistic way. You know, if you want to win $1 million and you actually do, I'd be so impressed. But my feeling is that this is on a more spiritual level here. I would not, though, absolutely ignore the possibility that, like I said, a lottery ticket every now and then wouldn't be a bad idea. As you get into February has your creativity just being profound. I see you speaking in front of people. I see you, if writing has ever been a wish of yours, the possibility of publication is here. I see you coming to a time where your gifts and your talents that you have been hiding begin to manifest into your reality. And people are beginning to let you know just how amazing you really are. It's also a time where relationships seem to be stirring up here quite profoundly, and magic happens. It's a time of magic for you. So be prepared for it. I think you're going to have some surprises as you get into the January, into the February timeframe that are going to surprise you greatly. As you hit March is a time where you have Phoenix rising energy here. So you are letting go of a lot of your insecurities. You're stepping out of your own shadow and allowing people to see the amazing light that is within you. And in doing so, attracting new people to you. As you hit the April time frame, here's where you're seeing your own internal evolution. You're seeing the spirit moving more and more profoundly into your everyday life, which is really cool. And it does open you up to new directions. It feels as though there's an element of healing going on here. Oh, scratchy nose. There's an element of healing going on here. It does feel as though healing energy is not only something that you are certainly capable of, but at the same time, you're allowing yourself to be healed, and you're taking whatever healing modalities you are currently in charge of, and you're applying them to yourself and finding that you can let go some of the heaviness that every now and then kind of creeps in. You know, we all have stuff that we're working on constantly, and every now and then something new will pop up that we have to deal with. But with you, it doesn't feel like there's anything massive. It feels like it's just small things that you're getting rid of and able to ease your passage forward on the pathway that you're now going on. It's just amazing. It's interesting because as you get into the June timeframe, there's an element here of you really wanting to have a roadmap as to where you should go and how you should get there. And the reality is the spirit inside of you has that roadmap. And if you just trust what comes to you and flow with things, you don't need the roadmap. All you need to do is pay attention to that spirit within you. And as you hit the July timeframe, there's you have the law of compensation here again, so that there is abundance coming your way. You've got the abundance in the center. You've got talent. You've got abundance coming to you again as you hit the July timeframe. This is amazing. You've got so much good stuff coming your way. Now, that doesn't mean you won't struggle from time to time, because of course you will, because the reason we're here is to learn and experience things. But as you experience them, you're able to gather the lesson faster than ever before in the past, so that your lessons aren't going to have to repeat 4, 5, 6 times. You'll get it. Of course, you move on to another lesson, but it's not going to be the same old, same old. It's always going to be a new challenge. And because it's a new challenge, there will be excitement about finding creative ways to shift and change your focus so that life becomes more enlightening. Okay? Okay.
Okay.
Cool stuff.
Yeah, amazing. All right, next we have
Yes.
Nancy Ray. Hello, Barbara. What are the main highlights for the rest of 2025?
Okay, just a minute here. Let me mix up cards here. We don't want to give you somebody else's reading. That it's funny because with the cards, depending on where you sit in this around the circle, the reading becomes different. So I guess I could just spin them and have the same read. I'll have to try that one time. I never thought of that. Put them on a Lazy Susan, and there are 12 things there. 12 people could get a reading from the same spread, and it would be different for everybody.
Bryn said amazing. Thank you.
Always welcome. Okay, this is who?
Nancy.
Main highlights. Well, let's see. Well, you're working hard. You're working hard on yourself, and you're working hard on new focus and on changes in direction. I would say that at this particular point in time, you're committed to enhancing everything around you, to making sure that there's a good pathway, a good focus towards completing some of the goals that you set for yourself. I would say that also the central card is one of work. So it does mean that you're working on yourself, you're working on your life, you're working on your direction. And I kind of want to suggest that you step back just a little bit and allow the spiritual energy to sort of flow amongst everything you're doing. While you are a very spiritual person, there's no question about that. You're so intense, you're not allowing the joy of life to sort of help you flow forward. There is, some people get so caught up in having to do this, and this, and forgetting that it's the creative energy that fuels our life forward. You are a tremendously creative person. And at this point in time, it feels like your creativity could so easily make things far smoother for you if you just balance yourself just a little bit. I feel you in a hurry, and you don't need to be, because there's a wonderful pace that has been set for you by your higher consciousness, by the spirit within. And it does feel as though things are going to flow very, very well for you. It feels as though you're kind of trying to make things happen faster than they need to, and you can try to make them happen faster for all you want, but it's the internal rhythm is set there, and it does feel as though you're going to flow appropriately. Whether or not it's fast enough for you, I don't know. But as you hit September, there's the element here of going back to the books, of stretching yourself into new understanding and new wisdoms, of not going back to school so much as allowing yourself to expand upon the wisdoms that you've already gathered. It does feel, and I do see a lot of books around you, so that it's wisdom, it's insight, it's understanding a greater depth of the insights that you've already gathered. We never know enough, even though we like to think we do. And it feels to me as though there's wisdom out there in very unusual places for you. Doesn't always have to be books, can be experiential. And I do feel that you're learning a lot as you go. You're so serious, though. I want you to have more laughter in your life here. As you hit the October timeframe, there's healing energy here, as though you are letting go of things that you held on to for a very long time that no longer have meaning for you. So you're just sort of letting them go. But at the same time, there's a sense here of you having healing energy within yourself. And please understand that you do have a great deal of healing energy here. If you're not already doing something like Tai Chi or any kind of healing modality, you'd be wonderful with it because you have the strength, the energy within you to be able to share that energy. Excuse me. And you have a great proficiency with being able to use your words as a healing tool. And you do it brilliantly, absolutely brilliantly. As you get into the November timeframe, it feels here as though you're attracting to yourself new directions, new offers, new insights. And as they come in, you're going to use them to enhance the talents and the capabilities that you already have within you. And you're going to find that it opens up new directions for you in lots of different areas. So that as you hit the January timeframe, the directions that you thought you might want to go in are expanded greatly so that you actually have the potential for directions you had never considered before. You have such great strength there's power in you that is really quite unbelievable. You've had, well, that's where it comes from. You've been a warrior in past lifetimes. You hit at least one of the Crusades. You have been among the Knights Templar. You have been, if I go back even further, you were a warrior, but you didn't make war. Now, I know that sounds strange, but you were so powerful, people didn't come up against you, and you were able to use your words as your tool. In some of the lifetimes that came after that, of course, you did use tools, but this lifetime, it feels as though you have a warrior's energy, but your tools are your words and your ability to put your thoughts and your philosophies and your wisdoms across to people. It's a profound gift and talent, and you're so powerful. People, first of all, stop and listen just because of the energy you're radiating. And as your words come out, they don't come out in anger, and they don't come out forcefully. They come out in a way that people are able to take them in and apply them in their own way to their own situations and their own lives. Looks very exciting. As you hit the January timeframe, you'll have the choice to go in several new and different directions. I feel that there will be offers coming to you from different places where you might switch your talents and gifts and put them to use in other ways. Up to you which way you go, whichever way. If you have to make a choice, if there are choices, go the direction where you will find the greatest sense of peace and laughter. Don't look at the money will all be the same, basically the same in all the areas. Go the one that looks as though you have the greatest chance for moving ahead, so that you don't lock yourself into a little section where you can't grow from. As you hit the February timeframe, here's where spirituality comes in really heavy duty. And it does feel as though you're applying your talents, your gifts, you're utilizing your creative energy, and you're bringing it into a more spiritual realm and a new direction, so that your understanding of your gifts and talents are applied in different ways in different aspects of life. And it's a very exciting time. As you hit March, there's it's almost like you have a puzzle of pieces of different aspects of yourself that you're wanting to put together to move in a new direction. I feel there's the element of moving in new directions, of going down, of creating pathways and not following someone else's pathway, of making your own pathway, your own direction, and finding, and because of that, whatever you find applies to you and you alone. If you follow other people's pathways, a lot of the stuff won't apply to you, but you're wise enough to go out on your own. And in so doing, there are people that will follow you, which is fine for them. Just don't let them become a burden to you. As you get into the April timeframe, I see two places you call home here. There is it feels as though you're working between two places. And I don't know if you have a second home, but it does look like there are two places you call home. I feel that there are also new people here. And I do feel that there are going to be groups of people that solicit you, which is going to be very interesting. Feels like it's for workshops or lectures or something like that. As you get into the May time frame, there's a sense here of paying attention to your own inner truths. And it feels to me that some choices are going to come your way, and you're going to have to apply your own truth system to it. Does it feel right to you? Does it feel appropriate for you? Does it feel as though it's going to enhance your spirituality? Or you're going to make choices according to your own inner truths. And it's the May time frame where you get more and more in touch with what your own inner truths are. There's a sense here as you get into June that you're definitely moving in new directions. I feel that some people will fall away from you, but there's so many others that are being drawn to you that it is appropriate. There's that old poem, people are your friends. What is it, for a reason, a season, or a lifetime? And some of the people that were there just for a reason do fall away, but the others are still here. And as you get into July, there's the element here of, again, books coming into you. It feels that you are opening yourself up to sharing your wisdoms. There's profound talent and gifts here. And I do feel that there's a sense here of moving into a new understanding of your purpose for this lifetime. Not that we'll always know all the purposes, but you'll come to understand some of them and be able to flow more comfortably with them. You definitely are going to share a lot with a lot of people. Okay, there we go. I know that's the whole year. I do apologize.
Well, she said, "Thank you, Barbara. I so needed to hear this. Many years ago, you said I was part of the Crusades and also mentioned the power of my words." So, there you go. Okay. Who is next we have Miss Onarianat. I don't know if I'm saying that properly. But good evening, Barbara. Can I get a general reading, please?
Sure you can. I like you twisting his tongue. That's
yeah, that's a one aeronaut. One aeronaut or own aeronaut?
One, O-N-E.
Right.
One aeronaut.
One aeronaut. All right.
Well, you're the one that has to say it, not me. It probably makes a great deal of sense. Okay. I don't know why, but my throat gets dry. Okay. Wow. General. Okay. You recently have gone through a period of time where you have had, I feel your head felt weird. There may have been slight headaches. There may have been ringing in your ears. I would say that, oh, cripe, look at all this. You've been through what I would say was a form of a download and initiation as to spiritual insights and wisdoms, an opening up of a portal to the higher consciousness. You have, you've got some really profound cards here. You have the crown chakra, you have the threshold card, which is the final card I painted, and you've got the initiation card. So you've been through what I would call, well, you've been through dark night of the soul and you've just come out of it. And so you've been through struggles, you've been through difficult times for sure. And what you've got going on here is you're opening up to the positive energy that is that is magical, that is spiritual. I want to call it an initiation, but it's a download of information that opens you up and allows you to open the portal to the higher consciousness, so you have greater insights and wisdoms that are pouring through you. I would say that at this point in time, you're at a place where a foundation has been created for a new direction for you. And I feel you are moving in a new direction. There is no doubt about it. You are moving into a new phase of life that will change everything in your life. There will be a decluttering. There will be a letting go of things that no longer enhance you or in some way slow you down. I do feel that the foundation is here, that you have been through. I keep seeing dark night of the soul, which is something. When people go through dark night of the soul, they have an enlightening experience as they come out of it. And that's what I'm seeing here. You have an understanding of this and other dimensions. You have fresh insight into spirit and spirit realms. You have, it's almost like, but not quite, a near-death experience. It's a time in which you have come to understand the fact that you're not a human on a spiritual journey, you're a spirit on a human journey. And it's profound. It's just absolutely profound. As you get into September, there's the understanding and freedom that opens to you to allow yourself to a lot of the gifts and talents you have carried within since the beginning, but you haven't utilized them. Being able to see and feel things on new levels. Your intuition is sharper. Your insight is profound. You will hear things from time to time. Quite often when people have this kind of energy, one of the first things they do is hear their name called and there's nobody there calling it, which is cool and frightening at the same time. I feel that September is going to be a time when you begin to understand the purpose of a journey through darkness into the light, and understand how beneficial it is, especially when you're out of it. As you get into the October timeframe, there's laughter, joy, and celebration. It does feel as though you're going to find that while you're serious about a lot of things, that the element of laughter enables you to greatly enhance everything that you're going through and everything you're a part of. Laughter is a very spiritual quality, so long as it's profound, so long as it's genuine laughter and not at someone's expense. And laughter will carry you over situations and through situations, and it will bring light into places where you didn't expect light would be. So do understand that the light that you carry within with laughter can be healing to many, many people in many different ways. As you hit the November timeframe, you have the initiation card, and that does suggest that there will be another download of material that you will get, not as heavy as the last, but definitely a download. And when that happens, you may experience, slight headaches for a while. I mean, not bad ones, one or two. Just know that it's because you're getting new information that has to be assimilated inside of you, so that it can be utilized and drawn upon. As you hit the December timeframe, there's new balance here. There's a lot of new balance in your life. And during the December timeframe, if you're one who wears heels, don't wear real tall ones. Your balance is going to be off slightly. And as the internal balance starts to rebalance you, then your external balance will balance too. But it's a time frame where you want balance, not only physically, but mentally and emotionally. So make sure that your life is balanced. Make sure that you're not leaning too far in one direction or another. Bring things back into balance, and you'll have a richness during that time frame, which is really quite profound. January has you working in new directions, moving on new new goals that you have set and new projects that you've set. You're very aware that creativity is what fuels your spiritual journey. And in so doing, everything moves faster. You're working very hard in the January timeframe. Pace yourself because you have all the time in the world to play with. It also will be bringing new people into your life. And as you get into the month of February, you have the element here of new beginnings and fresh starts. It may have to do with work. It may have to do with personal things. So new beginnings are starting on many different levels here. It could easily be projects that you've been playing with that become more than just projects. They could possibly become lines of work or lines that would bring you, that would bring money into your life. Understand though, when you start to earn money with your creativity, you have to find other forms of creativity to fill the spiritual requirements. If you're paid money, you can't double dip and get the spiritual stuff too. So, so it helps us if, for instance, you are playing the piano and it gives you joy, and you earn, well, no, if you're earning money at it, it won't count. So if you're not real good at it, it's good. It's good to be not great so you don't earn money. But if you earn money, you can always find a different creative project too. But I have found that lots of times people who are very creative are getting compensation for it. So the spiritual energy doesn't enter in. So as you hit the, I don't know why the piano came up here, but let me go back to February. There is piano music here. So I don't know if you play it or you listen to it or in some way, shape, or form during the month of February, a piano and piano music is going to have some sort of impact on your reality. Not really sure what or how. We'll wait till February and find out. March has you pulling body, mind, spirit together. There's a sense here of having a great deal of wholeness about you, feeling that you are ready to jump into new directions, and you actually are. Don't quit your day job until you have another job. But as you move into the March timeframe, if you are so inclined and you want to try something new, definitely try it, but don't quit your day job until you have another job lined up. That takes too much faith, and none of us have that much. Well, some people do. I don't advise it. I advise you keep your day job and look for the other job, and then transitions are a lot easier. As you look to the month of April, you have the law of karma here, which would indicate that you have a lot of karmic experiences that are coming your way. And it does feel as though you're going to be drawn to places here in the April timeframe where you have that deja vu, knowing you've been there before. You may feel it when you see something on TV, or you may actually visit a place where you know you've never been, and yet there's a feeling you have been there before. For some reason, and of course it's a psychic reason, I don't know why, but I see treasure hunting here. I see you looking to find treasure and actually finding some. So start little, but it does feel as though the element of treasure hunting is here because in past lifetimes you have hidden treasure and some of it has not been found. So don't get real wacko on me, but I see you treasure hunting. And, whether it's on a beach with a metal detector or whatever, but the element of treasure hunting is here. And sometimes you can be looking in and of itself. As we come to the month of May, here's where the spotlight falls on you. Here's where people pay attention to you a lot more than they have before. And you deserve the spotlight. You've deserved it all along, but you deserve it absolutely in April. And I feel that people are paying attention to what you're saying, paying attention to how you are living your life and what you are doing with your life. And it feels as though it's a very exciting time for you. You're quite powerful. You have the ability to impact other people and share your wealth of knowledge with them and insight. You may find yourself in bright lights as well. Could even be podcasting. Gregg talked me into getting lights for my computer here, and they're so bright I can't see. But they're bright lights. It's that kind of bright lights. You could easily be podcasting, I guess, or you could be doing something in which there were bright lights around you. But there are definitely bright lights around you, and you deserve to be highlighted in the bright lights. As you hit June, there's a sense here of moving into a new aspect of life. It feels as though there's an excitement. There's a drawing to new areas, so there may be travel, short distance travel this time. It feels like like June is a time frame where you are a lot of small trips all over the place, and it feels like you're connecting with groups of people which are new to you, but there's a symbiotic relationship too. And as you hit the July time frame, here's where I see you overdoing yourself with doing too much. You commit yourself too much to lots of things in the month of July. It feels as though you said yes to everything, and it is overpowering. So take your vitamins because you're going to need them. You'll be okay, because as you get into the August time frame, you can cut back and gather your energy again. But it does feel like you are overcommitted in the month of July, and it's all fun stuff. So enjoy it, but do take your vitamins, get plenty of sleep, and stay hydrated. Okay, that's it. Stay hydrated.
All right, that's good advice. I needed to hear that too.
I do too.
All right, just took a sip of water. Yeah, there you go. Get hydrated. All right, so next up we have Mila Franco, who says hello. And oh no, I'm sorry. Mila just said hello.
Yeah.
And didn't ask for a reading. Michelle, though, is actually who's up. Mila did ask for a reading, but she's coming up. She's coming up.
Okay.
Michelle Yee is first. So Michelle said, hello, Barbara and Gregg. Can you please give me some guidance and suggestions on moving forward with my career? Thank you.
Sure. Thank you for not telling me what your career is, too. The less information you give me, your name is fine, but don't give me details that will get in my way. Actually, when you give a reader details, you limit their ability to give you what spirit really wants you to hear. So if you just ask for a reading, you get what you need to hear. Maybe not what you want to hear, but you get what you need to hear. And that's the important thing. So, and everybody so far is doing just fine. Okay, Michelle. There's a wonderful harmony of spirit here. You've done a lot of work on yourself. I mean, a lot. And it all has enhanced the qualities within you, and it's brought you into a new level of understanding of yourself and how you can share yourself with other people. I feel that whatever career you're in at this moment in time is one in which you've committed to sharing yourself with. But at the same time, it feels like there are other careers here as well that in time you may add to what you're doing and sort of expand on what it is that you do for a living. I would say that you're committed to the new directions that you've got. It feels like there are new directions here. There's a sense of knowing yourself. Oh my goodness. That's interesting. You were one of the oracles at Delphi. That's what knowing yourself came from. you were an oracle of Delphi. I'm not suggesting you find, a volcano to sit over and pontificate from, but I am saying that you have an amazing kindness and givingness inside of you that allows you to touch other people in meaningful and deep ways, so that no matter what career you're in, you are always sharing love and wisdom and insight with other people. I don't think you ever have a casual conversation. It feels as though you are always giving people insight into themselves or their lives and where they're going. It feels to me as though there's writing here that you should be writing, whether it's journaling or writing or publishing. I would say that your life has been one in which you have touched lots of people. You have touched more lives than you have ever imagined you have touched, and you've changed people's lives profoundly. You are very positively oriented. You are in touch with the spirit within more so than most people, and you pay attention to the insights that are given you at those weird times of day and night. Feels as though your sleep patterns are being disturbed, that there is the element of that 3 a.m. in the morning waking you up for no reason at all, aside from going to the bathroom. But it does feel as though at 3 o'clock in the morning you seem to look at the clock and see it's 3 o'clock or thereabouts and wonder what was the purpose. It feels to me that seems to be the time frame where whatever information spirit is giving you from the higher consciousness, it stops. And when that flow of energy stops at about 3 in the morning, you're jolted awake because there's a different flow of energy. You are wise beyond your ears. No, wise beyond your years, not your ears. You're committed to making a difference in people's lives. And because of that, it feels like your actual career may shift and change a number of times as time goes on. It does feel to me as though how you impact society in many different ways. I see lots of cameras around you as well. I don't know if you take pictures or pictures are taken of you, but cameras seem to come out in here very importantly. As you hit the month of September, there's a new aspect of love in your life. And I'm not talking another person, I'm talking love of creation, love of spirit, love of putting information and insight out there, impacting and caring for other people. You are so focused on the people who need help, who are in turmoil or are in need, whether it's hunger, whether it's flood victims, whether it's war, whether it's you're somebody whose spirit cries out to help those who are in need, and you do so in many different unusual ways. And it does feel like that's expanding over time. As you get into the October time frame, it does feel as though there's a sense here of 2 new directions you're moving in. And it does feel as though there's that there are kind of like 2 occupations you've got going on at the same time. One will feed you and the other will be spiritual enlightenment and growth. You're so aware of the spirit within and the journey that spirit is on, that you are constantly open to insight from the spirit realm, not through other people, but from what you discover within yourself. Sometimes we have to do some research and reading about some things, but then you turn it into yourself and you allow it to become a part of you, so that what you're doing is not repeating someone else's material, but making something your own and applying it to your own lifetime. As you hit the December timeframe, you have magic and miracles, expecting the unexpected. Here's where Again, I see cameras in your life. Again, I don't know if you're taking the pictures or they're being taken of you, but cameras are definitely here. And it feels as though you're drawing attention to some aspect of life that you want to help other people recognize and enhance within themselves. As you get into the January timeframe, here you're working hard. It's almost like you're cocooning yourself. You did spend a lifetime in a cave. How far back? Probably about 2,000 years, 2,500 years. You spent a lifetime in a cave, meditating, talking to people, sharing wisdom. Your wisdom has been preserved, but you didn't preserve it. Look at the Tuatha De Danann, their material. Some of your wisdom rests in that particular population. You were not a witch. You were a wise person and a gentle person, and you lived a very long life in comparison in that lifetime. But what you said and how you said it has been preserved and protected and has come forward in time. So the Tuatha De Danann are a group you might want to look into. You were not a part of that group, but they preserved your words. As you get into the February timeframe, you have healing energy here, profound healing energy. And it's a quality that you do with words. You may well use hands as well, but your words are more healing than your hands. Your words have great power, and you have great insight on how to apply your words. Relationships are unique for you. Great word. And your personal relationships are very profound. They're just very profound and very creative and very unique. As you get into the April timeframe, you have a great deal of creativity here. You're using your words and your hands in very unique ways. I feel spiritual energy is really very profound around you at this particular point in time, but you are sharing your words, and they're out there more in writing. They're out there on radio waves. They're out there. So it's a wonderful time for you to explore, new directions for yourself. As you get into the April timeframe, you're attracting new people to yourself, lots and lots of new people, new directions, new insights, new wisdoms, coming into forgiveness of situations and letting go of them. Before I choke myself here. Forgiveness of situations that have been difficult for you, understanding that they were difficult for you because they taught you something new and positive about yourself, so you could forget them now. As you move into June, you have the energy here of Phoenix rising, so you are definitely shifting and changing, moving and growing, expanding your energy and your insights and bringing them forward in time to apply to the future. July has new light coming into you, almost as though you know how the light bulb goes on in the comics. That's what happens here in the month of July. The light bulb goes on, you have new insight and wisdom, and here's where you start to really, really write. Hope that helps. Okay.
Yeah, right.
I'm fine. Yeah.
Take a sip of water. We'll read Nancy's comment. She said something nice. Barbara's the real thing, and that is why I've been enjoying her words of wisdom for years. I also love to listen to her podcast on podcasts on ancient civilizations and UFO research.
Oh, thank you.
That was nice.
Very nice.
Yeah.
It's nice to know I'm real. No, I appreciate that. I really do. For a long time, there were a lot of psychics doing readings on the air, and they all kind of disappeared. And when Gregg suggested we do a reading show, I said, well, they're not doing them anymore. And he said, well, doesn't mean you can't do them. And well, that's true. But I wasn't sure there was a calling for them anymore. But this sort of indicates that there is.
There is. We have more people on the list than we have time to do. So, and people are still coming in. Up next is Carrie. Hi, everyone. May I have a Let It Rip reading, please? So I think Carrie also maybe was at some of your earlier shows a while ago, right?
When I started doing readings on the air, I found that the same people were sitting in line for readings every week and not really paying attention to what I was saying. They just called to be on the radio. So then I said to people, I'll just give you what Spirit gives me. And that didn't stop them asking the same question over and over and over. And they followed me show to show to show. And so then I said, well, you can't say anything. I will give you a Let It Rip. And that's what I was doing when I stopped doing the readings, only because, I don't know, something happened in my life or something, but I stopped doing the readings because everybody else did, I guess. So here we are back letting it rip.
And we're letting it rip again.
Yes.
It's a good times roll. Let it rip. Great.
All good times. Okay, Carrie. You're going through what I would call a phoenix rising moment. You're at a time of change where you're letting go of the old and becoming a new person. And this doesn't happen overnight. And over the next 12 months, you're going to find a lot of things changing in your life, whether it's changing your clothing or, well, changing your style. Hopefully you change clothing once a day. But changing your style, changing your hairstyle, changing the food you like, the stuff you like to watch on TV, lots of changes going on. You're becoming a new you, and it really looks profound. As we get into the August timeframe, there is a sense here of taking a look at yourself, where you are, and how you feel about everything around you. Your philosophy is changing. Your attitudes are changing. Your perception is changing. And that's the great part of it, because you create your reality by your perception of it. If you perceive you are having a good time, I guarantee you are having a good time. If you perceive something is fabulous for you, it is. So what's happening here is in this month, you're looking around and you're seeing how you want to shift the way you look at things, how the way you want to look at struggles. Struggles are not burdens or things that have to be stumbled over. Struggles are challenges to your creativity, and it's really exciting when you figure out how to solve a struggle. And the more creative you are, the more proud you can become of yourself that you did it in a creative way, not the way everybody else does it, so that you're being more truthful with yourself about yourself and making changes that enhance you and make you a better person. As you get into the September timeframe, the changes that you've made, because you are living the changes that you made and you are living those inner truths, are becoming a magnet and drawing new people to you in many, many different ways. So you're attracting to yourself new people, new energy, and new insights. Excuse me. Lots of times people will say, well, the people I attract, aren't like me. Well, the reality is the people you attract are exactly like you. We're magnets. And you're taking a look at the people that are surrounding you that seem to be drawn to you, and you're saying to yourself, what other quality do I add to myself to add a quality to the people that I am attracting? And once you get that, once you understand that, once you begin to live it, it's phenomenal what it draws to you. It's just phenomenal and quite amazing. You are attracting new people to your life, and you're paying attention to them far more than ever you did before, because by paying attention to them, you're seeing where you are internally, and that's helpful. And and I mean that about everybody, because even if you attract somebody to yourself that has qualities that you're not too keen on, there's something there that you need to see in yourself that you can change. And in changing that person will drift away. So do pay attention to that. As you get into the October timeframe, there is the aspect of love, which is really, really cool. You have a lot of new people coming in that are full of love, that are very positively oriented, and that they have a spiritual aspect to them. And it's in the month of October that you understand. Oh, this is cool. That you understand the meaning of love in a very new and unusual way. Everybody has a definition of love, and everybody's different, of course. And it does feel to me as though you're at a point in time where you're going to experience a new and profound type of love in the month of October. Now, love can be of many people and of many things. So don't read into this. Don't interpret what I said. Wait to see what happens, because I'm not sure what kind of love I'm seeing, but I know it's profound, and I know it will touch you deeply, and I know it will be spectacular. I wouldn't mind that. That's kind of cool. November has healing and creativity flowing in lots of new directions. It feels as though you are using your creativity to broadcast healing energy on some level, so that your creativity is of a unique form, and it does facilitate people to have a healing experience experiencing your creativity. I do feel that you are at a point in time where you are stretching yourself, where you are moving in new directions, where there is new insight into what you want to do if you grow up. And I said, if you grow up. Actually, growing up isn't all it's suggested it is. Having part of a child within you celebrating life well into your 90s or 100s is a very wise thing for everybody. So don't put that child within too far back. Let it come out and play every now and then. Not necessarily making mud pies, but let the child within have an equal time measure with the adult that's there. As you get to the December timeframe is really pretty interesting. It's my card that I usually look at, and I first thing that comes to mind is pregnancy, and it does fit. This isn't necessarily a physical pregnancy. This could be pregnancy of thought, pregnancy of a creative endeavor, pregnancy of a new direction to go in. but it's here. It's almost as though December marks a time where a lot of the work that you've done internally is going to finally be manifesting physically, and you're moving into new directions that way. As you hit January, there's a forgiveness here. There's understanding a lot of things that have happened in your life happened for a reason, and there was positive. Underline the fact that I say positive. There was positive growth that was achieved because of it. And so you're forgiving the facilitator of the difficulty so that you can move forward and understand that by letting go of the blame you put on someone or something, you are able to take the lesson that was positively gained and move forward with it and apply it to your life. As you get into the February timeframe, here's where you've got balance and justice. Here's where here's where legal papers are signed. Here's where there's balance. I see you as scales and actually balancing things. It's kind of interesting, kind of going like this. You know, the do I need it or do I want it? That type of thing. I see you taking situations and going and balancing them in your hands, saying, you know, is this good or this bad? Do I go this direction or that? I would actually recommend you use a pendulum, either that or dowsing rods, because you have that kind of energy that those tools would be helpful to you. Because whatever choices you make are the right choices. And even if they don't feel it at a time, they're teaching you something that you need to learn. So therefore, it was a good positive experience. As you hit the March timeframe, here's where I see you communicating with a lot of people in a lot of different places. I see you, the element of communication is really strong here. It feels as though you're speaking your mind, you're speaking your heart, you're speaking your spirit. And people are listening. It's a creative time. It's a time where you're letting yourself be more creative in your life than you ever have before. That facilitates the growth of the spiritual energy within you as well. And the only thing that I have to say you have to be careful of is you have to make sure that whatever you're doing creatively, you're having fun at. If you're not having fun, it doesn't count. But if you're having fun at your creativity, even though it's work, well, if it's your job, then you're already paid for it. So you have to find something else to be creative at as well. But if your creativity is something you're doing on the side and you're joyful about it, you will find that spiritual energy increases intensely, and you're able to do a lot more with the spiritual energy that you carry within, manifesting it, using it, and sharpening some of the tools that we carry in our tool belt that we don't always utilize. As you hit April, there's a sense here of there's work here. There's work here on healing, and it feels as though I don't feel you hurt, but I feel the aspect of healing energy is something important to you in this particular time frame. You may decide to try out doing a healing process of some sort, or you may experience it. Or you may find, oh, that's kind of cool. There is also here in the month of April, a connection to nature that is very, very profound. And I'm not, I was going to say, I'm not going to ask you to hug a tree, but in the month of April, you may find yourself hugging a tree. There is a definite connection that you have between the deva spirits of trees. And there's a connection that can help to enlighten you, especially pine trees. So take that into consideration. I would say pine trees, pine groves, very, very, very good place for you to tap into spirit or meditate to get into that kind of spiritual energy that the trees do hold and carry. I'm seeing the redwoods in California. I'm not saying you have to go to California, but I am seeing the redwoods here, and I am seeing you in huge forests. You've had lifetimes that you have spent in huge forests, and they do have a peaceful quality about them. And if you really need a place to go to find peace and tranquility, a forest is a good place if you can get to one close enough to you. As you get into the May time frame, again, healing energy here, again, letting go of stuff that no longer applies to you, getting rid of. I see this healing more in decluttering your life of physical things rather than emotional. But there may be some emotions there too as well. But it feels like a decluttering of your life is really important as you get into the May time frame. June has new commitment. June is a time frame where I see you making commitments on many different levels. So that you may be committing yourself to a different lifestyle. You may be committing yourself to a person or a relationship. You may be committing yourself to a new direction as far as career or insight or wisdom. You're just committing yourself to change. And as you get into July, there's a duality here. So there are two new directions you're going in, and both of them, they're not related at all. But you're able to do two directions and do them in a balanced mode so that life will flow and be definitely more manifestational for you than ever before. There you go.
Okay. Let's keep going. We got a long list. So now we're up to Mila. Said hello, and then she said, relationship, please.
Okay. Maybe I'll just let you do that one, Ray. Ray.
I got nothing. You're gonna have to take it.
Okay. Well, I mean, you would think that after this many years that you would have picked something up.
Well, yeah, I have some ideas, but
well, yeah, I got that. Okay, let's see. Relationship. Okay. Well, just relationship, huh? Mm-hmm. Okay. You are exceedingly intuitive. And sometimes you are so intuitive that you misinterpret what you're feeling. So in any relationship that you're in or going into, be very careful that you don't try to read more than is there. In relationships here that are suggested, what you see is what you get. Make sure that you understand that when you go into a relationship. People do change as we age. Everybody changes. So I'm kind of at a place here with your relationship and the aspect of relationships in your life, because of the how intuitive you are, because of how old your spirit is and how much your spirit has experienced, you could be led to misinterpret. So remember, what you see is what you get. And if either of them is not what you want, friendship is great. Friendship is, oh goodness, friendship is wonderful. But the element of relationship, especially in these times, is very hard to maintain and continue because everybody is working towards different goals. Because you are so strong as far as your intuition goes, probably from time to time it can get you into trouble. Sometimes you are perceiving things that are probably there that may not manifest this lifetime. So try not to read too deeply into the people that you're surrounded by. I think that what you see is what you get is the best answer I can give you on relationship. because you've got so much energy going on here. There's so much else going on here in your life. I gotta just say that your intuition is probably the best and worst tool you've got, because it is so strong that quite often you see qualities in other people that they aren't going to manifest this lifetime, but that they have. And it can be frustrating for you trying to get them to manifest something that is not appropriate to be manifested this lifetime. I would say that this month especially, you have guidance from the angelic realm, from the spirit realm. You feel guided, and your guidance is appropriate. And sometimes people that are on the kind of pathway you're on, sometimes long-term relationship of 40 or 50 years is not something that happens, but relationships as you grow, as you evolve, are there and intense with each different stage of your life. You have a great deal of power inside of you. As you hit the September timeframe, spotlight falls on you. It feels as though this lifetime for you is one of helping others, being aware of others, teaching others in many different ways. And then the element of relationship is definitely here, but it's unique. It's different. It's not your soapbox opera type stuff. It's not your comic book type stuff. The kind of relationships that you're going to be having are profoundly deep, profoundly powerful. They have love in them, because you wouldn't have any relationship that didn't have love in them. But you have a calling, and I would have to say it's a calling. I don't feel you ever being heartbroken or disappointed as a relationship moves on, if it does, because there will always be something that takes its place. You may well have someone who's in your life for your whole life, but that person will change as you'll change, and therefore it works. But it only works if everybody's growing. I feel you have the potential for greatness on many different levels, and so much of it has to do with wisdom, with insight, with sharing insight and wisdom with other people, with helping people to heal, with helping people to understand themselves and their own journeys. There is inside of you one who was a shining one in one incarnation, and it's you bring qualities to this lifetime that have that wise person energy, and that wise person energy has a spiritual goal, direction, calling, and you have to answer it. You have to flow with it. You can't stop. But at the same time, there is a richness of joy, a richness of love, a richness of power, a richness of understanding of the journey that you're on, the foundations that you've created, and what you're working from. There is the element here of, as you get into the September timeframe, of 3 new directions you're going in. There's 3 new people coming into your life as well, and they may each have a different aspect of life to share with you, which will be quite profound. I see you overflowing with spiritual wisdom, overflowing with the need to share your insights with others. And as you hit the November timeframe here, there's a sense here of finding new outlets for what you want to share. Sometimes we go along and there's no audience, but you share it anyway. Sometimes I've done radio shows and I didn't know if anybody was listening or not, but it didn't matter because we still did the show. And over time, people caught the message. It may not have been immediately, but that's okay. So putting your message out there and not paying attention to who heard, who paid attention, who took it and did something with it. As you get into the January timeframe, you've got the light falling upon you. You've got new energy coming in. It feels as though your thermostat goes crazy. You're either too hot or too cold. Finding medium ground is hard for you, and it does feel as though there's new healing energy that is coming into you at that particular time of the year. As you hit the January timeframe, you're pulling together a lot of the new aspects within you that you've discovered. There are new people coming in. I feel the element of relationship is something that is very important to you, that you are at home when you are in a balanced relationship. If it's not balanced, it doesn't work. You have to both follow your own pathway, your own passions. And I feel sometimes in the past, you have let go of your passions for another person. Remember, what you see is what you get. And if what you see is what you want, then enjoy it. And so long as you keep it balanced, you're okay. The minute it goes wonky on you, then you recalibrate and you see who's there when you're recalibrated. Love is important to you. Love's important to everybody. And sometimes it's important to have love in your life, but not have a partner. And sometimes it's important to have a partner with love. Always love has to be there. So there, as you get into the February timeframe, it feels as though there's a lot going on within the home. And it feels like the home may change, the home may move, or it's going to change. I'm hearing carpentry work. I'm smelling new paint. I'm smelling, it feels as though there's work being done wherever your home is. You may either be moving or changing something within your home. It's not that a tree has fallen on you. It's that you are enhancing something that you already have. As you hit the March timeframe, it feels as though you are renewing promises made in a past life. It feels as though there's a group of people around you that may have been with you in past lives, and you may be fulfilling promises, whether it's taking care of others or highlighting new aspects of life to other people. It feels as though there's a gathering. There's a gathering here in the March timeframe of some sort, and it feels very spiritually oriented. And there are going to be people there that you meet that you're going to be in contact with for a very long time. As you hit April, there is again this feeling of connection to your higher consciousness, the spirit within you. It feels as though this is a time where you are beginning to manifest and write down some of the new aspects of life that you are approaching for yourself. Keep a journal, not a diary, a journal, so that you can leave it out and anybody can read it and they won't pay any attention to it. But a journal as to the insights that you're gathering, because it's important. And as you move into the May timeframe, here's where you're kind of, I kind of almost feel you going into I don't know. I see you withdrawing and staying cloistered for a while so that you're able to put things in proper perspective. It's almost as though it's some sort of a, cloistered is the best word. You just kind of stay to yourself. And it's not because you're hurt or angry or anything. It's just that you need time to get a better perspective on the new directions that you're going in, because as you come into the June timeframe, there's a new foundation you're working from. You're going in new directions. And as you hit the July timeframe, here's where things start to move very rapidly, because you are already at a place in time where you are able to sort of move energy beautifully. And July seems to be a time frame where you have a lot more people around you now, and you're moving in new directions, and it feels as though there's a crowd around you. They're not following you. It's people of they're like-minded. And so you have the like-minded people around you, all going in different directions, but having a spiritual core value, which is really quite profound. Hope that helps you. A little more than you asked for.
Well, apparently it did. She said, Barbara, you are so right about my intuition. You are amazing. I am looking to healing. I heard the call and try to help others always. So there's some feedback. And
Always good to have.
we got from a couple of readings ago, we got a little more feedback. You are amazingly accurate, Barbara. I've recently felt that something big happened to me spiritually, but couldn't find the words for it. And you described it beautifully and accurately.
Wow. Okay.
Those are some great feedback.
Definitely.
Yeah. So now we are up to another Barbara Larson.
Okay.
So Barbara, I don't know if you're reading from Barbara. I want to know about my real biological parents. I was adopted. And then she went on to say, hold on. She came back in and chimed in again and said, I want to meet my biological parents. Is that possible?
Okay.
Yeah, pretty heavy.
Yeah. Well, I would assume you're looking for them, or trying to find them. Well, this is it's very hard, because I feel that the reasons you were given up were genuinely loving. That there was a reason for it, and it was the reason you were given up was a good reason. I don't believe your biological parents are together, which is one of the reasons why you were given up. But forgive me, but it feels like you have good parents. I understand the desire to know where you came from. I understand that. Well, let me put it this way. To actually meet your biological parents, you can probably manifest it if you really feel you have to do that. But the feeling that I get here is it's probably better for you to understand that you were conceived in love, no doubt about it. And it does feel to me as though striving to meet those that created you isn't as important as striving to connect to the spirit that created you. The more you go towards understanding that you hold within you a part of the divine, that is, that you're here on the earth plane to grow and to enhance and strengthen the power of that part of you, is really important. I feel you are surrounded by love. I feel there is a great deal of love around you. And I understand wanting to solve a question. But the reason you were given up was so good, I'm not sure that you can actually make it happen. And if you do, I'm not sure that's going to be healing for you. So I wouldn't I would in no way suggest you stop looking, because that's important to you. But also be willing to accept the fact that the universe wants you to be seeking other things in life other than two people that created you physically. What the universe wants you to be looking for has to do with spiritual energy, and how do you share love with other people, and how do you enhance that love that you have within you. I know it's killing you. I know it's a driving force within you that is very, very strong. But I feel that you have such love around you already that it empowers you to give it to other people. I don't know if you have children yet. I can't tell. But it does feel to me as though while you may have an empty spot, you can fill it with the love of the people. You have so many people around you that just love you so much. Please acknowledge that, because sometimes wanting something that you don't have and can't find diminishes what other people get from you. And I do feel that there is great strength and love around you. Certainly, there's always that chance that you will be able to locate them, or they will locate you. I just don't know if that's really what's important for you to do right now. I would not stop looking. I would continue looking, but I would also not let it be all consuming, because you have too much else to do with your life. And there's a child that's very important to you. It's either a pregnancy coming, or a child that you've got, or a child that's close to you. I can't tell which it is. But I do know that any child that you have will never doubt their love, your love, or probably over love. I don't know. I can't tell. I do suspect that at some point in time, when you stop looking, they'll find you, or your mother will find you. But I'm not sure it's going to give you what you're expecting. So for the time being, keep the search going. When the universe thinks it's appropriate, it will happen. And if the universe doesn't think it's appropriate, it won't. It's up in the air. I feel they are both still alive now, but not together. And please balance yourself a little bit more, because balance is really important for you. And this has something to do with karma. This has something to do with a past life experience where you gave up a child. And so that this time you're the child that was given up balances that karmically. Don't ever give up. It's important to you. But at the same time, please realize that there is such love out there for you in all manners, shapes, and forms. And it's healing. So balance your energy, and don't, here, big word from a school teacher, don't perseverate on it. Don't let it be the main focus of your life, because searching for your own talents, your own skills, make of your life the most you can make of it, and let that magnetize the other to come into play within your life. Don't just focus on that. Keep your life balanced, keep your joy balanced, keep your love balanced, and you'll find that the more you put into loving the people around you, the more that love will draw other people to you. I hope that helps. I can't say you won't, but I feel that it's important you balance your life first, and the love you give other people, and the better you balance your life, the stronger that magnetism is that will draw them to you, if it's meant to be. And I don't know if it's meant to be or not. but I wouldn't discourage you. I just say, let's balance your life. Put so much love out there in other places that it reaches them and draws them to you. That's the only way it's going to happen, because it won't happen through legalities and things like that. They'll be drawn to you in other ways. I hope that helps. Gregg? Gregg? Did we lose Gregg?
Oh, no, I'm here. Sorry, my mic was muted.
Oh.
Had some kids yelling in the background. I didn't want to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, wait. That
Room for time for another, or
no, that does us. But Gregg, when are we going to be back?
okay. Well, when are we going to be back? We are going to be back in. Let's see. Today is the 21st, so we will be back on the 4th.
Okay.
September 4th, because we kind of got our schedule a little bit with the cancellation from last week. So 2 weeks from tonight, which will be September 4th.
Okay. Remember, people, come in early, because as you see, the list gets long.
Yes, it does. We made it. I don't think we did about half. We have a lot of people on the list. A lot of people showed up tonight.
Well,
so we appreciate that, and
thank you everybody for being here. And we'll be back in 2 weeks. 2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, it'll be 2 weeks.
And come early and stay late. Take care now. Good night.
Good night.